Guess what day it is? That's right, Library Day. So I'm not going to keep catching you up. If you don't know where we're at, just go back to the previous recording and watch that one. They're not very long. Watch that one and then you'll know where we're at, okay? So today we're starting at chapter 10 and it is called, appropriately, Bad Halloween. The second day with the hat, Halloween goes less well. I'm going to start that over. The second day with the hat, Halloween, goes less well. This is what I call an understatement. I meet Abby by the bike rack, and she's wearing her black jack-o'-lantern shirt and a headband with demon horns, and before we even reach our lockers, I can tell something is off in the halls. Nobody makes a hat comment, but several people turn around with that uh-oh, here he comes face. Ricky Stevenson, an 8th grader with crazy tall hair, lets out a startled laugh when he sees me, then stifles it behind his hand and ducks into the art room like he committed a crime. While I'm grabbing a folder from my locker, I catch one girl, Bethany something, whispering in her friend's ear. She has her hand covering her mouth, and they're both looking at me, the international signal for, "We're talking about you." I shut my locker and turn to Abby. She's messing with the pull strings of her Vampire Weekend Tour hoodie. "What's up?" She looks back at me. "Chicken butt." "Hilarious. Why is everyone looking at me?" She pushes off the wall and heads down the crowded hall. "I'm sure it's the hat, ding dong." I follow her, watching other students as we go. She squeezes between a couple of big football players to her locker, starts working the combination. She swings the door open between us. I'm not buying it. My spidey senses are tingling. I see another person stepping sideways to get a look at me from behind someone's backpack. I lean in to look Abby in the eyes. "You swear you don't know anything?" "Ross, stop it. You're a minor celebrity now. Hat kid. Try to enjoy it." She gives me a goofy smile and pats my shoulder awkwardly. "Don't go mental on me, okay? I gotta go or I'll be late." She gives me a punch on the arm. "Seriously, you'll be fine." Then she's gone, swallowed up in the morning chaos. My palms are starting to sweat. This is not good. By lunch, I'm in a full panic. You'd think I'm walking around naked by the way people are looking at me. I've had that nightmare, and this is worse. I asked a couple of kids in my class about it, but they all played dumb, and not very convincingly. My brain is spinning like a top when I meet Abby at the loading dock. She's unpacking her lunch and looks up. "Hey, Wink." Normally, I don't mind the eye-related jokes, but today I'm in no mood. I throw my lunch down. "What is going on? People are looking at me like I have 6 heads." She sets her sandwich down. "Ross, I swear I have no idea. I doubt it's anything, but I'll ask around if it'll make you feel better." I sit down on the top step and tip my head back and groan. "Take some deep breaths. You're spinning out, buddy." After a couple of minutes, I look back down and stare at my crumpled lunch bag. "If it makes you feel better, I heard Sean Meekins barfed in gym class." "Seriously?" She nods. "Yep, halfway up the big rope. It splattered and got a bunch of people, including Hannigan." I can't help picturing Coach Hannigan scrambling not to get Yarf on his precious sneakers. He loves those sneakers. "Okay, that is kind of awesome, I guess." She asks me about the new language arts assignment, and then we talk about some new Vampire Weekend shirts she found on eBay, and about whether we're too old for trick-or-treating. By the time lunch is over and we're throwing out our trash, Abby has me smiling again. Chapter 11. Not Right. More weird stares follow me the rest of the day, which makes me bonkers. Why the acceptance one day and now all the staring? It doesn't make any sense. By the time my dad picks me up for my treatment, I'm actually looking forward to it. Anything is better than the stares. Frank cues up the mix from where I left it the day before. He and Callie strap me down, and I'm off. Despite the risk of zapping my eyeball, or the knowledge that I'm getting nuked like a microwave corn dog, I'm able to relax and get into the songs. The second song, a fast one with some guy screaming about needing the cure for what ails me, fits my mood perfectly. The next one is kind of slow and sappy, which surprises me coming from Frank, but even that one takes me on a ride. Gets me out of my funk and my brain frenzy for a little bit. Before I leave, Frank hands me the mixtape for extracurricular listening, if you want. My dad brings my Deadpool costume in a plastic bag, and we head to Abby's house. It feels weird walking up to Abby's place. For the last few years, we've always started our night at Isaac's and ended up at Abby's. Things change, I guess. Abby meets me at the front door and I can tell something isn't right. She looks strung out. Even weirder, she isn't in a costume. As we pass the kitchen, her parents are huddled over the counter, having what looks like a serious conversation. Her mom gives me a quick wave and then turns back to Mr. Peterson. I feel butterflies coming to life in my stomach. In Abby's room, she tells me to sit down. She's chewing her hair, which might not be a good sign. I drop my backpack and the bag with my costume and sit down carefully at her desk. I'm moving slowly. Abby comes over and sits on the corner of her bed near my chair and runs a hand through her hair. Okay, Ross. She looks up at the ceiling. She grimaces. I think I figured out why everyone was staring. I notice her phone in her hand. She's holding it so tight her knuckles are white. So, Stacy Tyler just sent me these things. They're pictures that somebody made. I don't know who made them, and neither does Stacy. She really doesn't. I believe her. Okay. My ears are ringing, but I try to remain calm. She sighs. I guess these were flying around all day on Instagram, by text. Nobody sent them to me because, we're friends and all. I can't take this. What are you talking about? She tips her head back. Apparently these went around to a bunch of people last night and today. To a lot of people. They're like memes. I swallow. I've been memed? She laughs, but not a ha-ha laugh. More of a one-puff, sad laugh. Yeah, there were 3 of them. She's not sure what to say. And that isn't a situation Abby finds herself in often. They aren't funny, Ross. They're bad. I hold out my hand and she gives me her phone. The first image in her text feed is my 6th grade yearbook photo. Somebody has drawn a really rough version of a cowboy hat on my head. Relief washes over me. It's not that bad. Kind of mean-spirited, but I was expecting way worse. Here's what that one looks like. Cancer Cowboy is what it says if you can't see that. I scroll to the next message. Someone had spent some time on this one, really put in the effort. It's a drawing of my head on a super skinny old guy in a hospital gown, and he looks awful, holding on to an IV stand. You poop your hospital gown is what it says. The third is the winner, the icing on the cake, the pièce de résistance, as they say. It's the simplest of the 3. Somebody's taken an existing cartoon and changed the words, or really, just one word. It's a black and white panel cartoon of death in an airport. It must have been taken from a magazine, The New Yorker maybe. My parents get that magazine, and it looks like that style. In it, Death, his face hidden in a hood and holding his big axe thing, is standing in front of a limo. He's holding a sign, looking for his next customer. And they've written Ross's name on the cartoon, like death is coming for him. I sit staring at it for a bit. I can feel my throat and chest tightening. My face is getting hot. So death is waiting for me? Is that what they're implying, that I'm dying? Is that the joke? Ross, look, Abby starts. I interrupt. How is this at all funny? Is this supposed to be funny? Abby takes the phone from me. I don't know. Stacy doesn't even know who did them. They're just going around. I basically beat her over the head to get her to show them to me. I stand back up because I'm not sure what else to do. Who would... I feel heat rolling up through my body, starting from my toes. Like an enemy or... My hands are shaking. Ross, Abby says, we'll figure out who did these. And my parents said we should go to the principal first thing tomorrow. This is... I turn on her. No! My cheeks are on fire. We are not doing anything. Do you hear me? I just want them to go away, especially the last one. We're not giving them any more attention than they've... My voice dies out. Okay. Abby's trying to calm me down. But I shake my head. I stick out my hand, little finger out. Not a word. Pinky swear. The pinky swear has been our most solemn vow since forever, and we've never broken one yet. Abby hooks her pinky around mine. Okay, fine. Pinky swear. She nods, but she doesn't look happy about it. Ross, it's probably just a couple of people joking around and it got out of control. One person trying to top the other, or I don't know, and it went too far. Suddenly, I can't breathe. I start spinning around looking for my stupid hat before I realize it's on my stupid head. I grab my backpack by one strap. Tears are coming, and I don't really want to be here when they arrive. I pull open the bedroom door and hurry down the hallway. Ross! Abby follows me. Come on, Ross, don't leave. Just stop. I run down the stairs and pass Abby's mom in a blur, and then I'm outside, across the lawn, across the street, at the corner. I see a few kids in costumes with their parents and do my best to ignore them. I stand on the corner, sucking in big gulps of the cool evening air. My heart is pounding like it wants to burst out of my chest. I mean, I knew other students had been looking and staring, and I'd seen kids pointing, but I always assumed they were pulling for me on some level, for me to get better, to beat this thing. I mean, is this all just some big joke to everyone at school? I hear Abby calling my name, coming up behind me. I spin on her. Don't! I hold my hands up like a traffic cop. I'm not mad at you, obviously, but I mimic explosions coming out of my ears. She nods and looks at the ground. I know it. I get it. I'm mad too, and I'm sad. Two kids run by, laughing, with big pumpkin-shaped buckets. I'm not sure whether to run, lie down, or spin around in circles. I don't know how to... Who would make those? Abby looks up at me and shakes her head. Her eyes are watery and about to spill over. I don't know, Ross. I really don't. Someone would have to hate me. Do people hate me? I take a deep, shuddering breath. I'm not dying. Am I? Is there something I don't know? Is death waiting for me? Obviously, I know dying from this is a possibility. Cancer does that. But I've gotten myself fairly convinced that I'm beating this thing. I even overheard my dad and Linda discussing scary survival rates one time. But it seemed like they were, I don't know, was I in denial? Do people in denial know that they're in denial? I suddenly feel like walls are closing in on me, even though I'm outside. Abby steps closer, carefully, like she's approaching a wild animal. Then she moves to hug me, but I can't right now. I step back, give her arm a squeeze, and walk away. I don't look back, and Abby doesn't follow. It's a long walk to my house, but I'm okay with that. It's dark. There are a lot of people out. Parents, kids, various ghouls. And I'm glad my face is hidden in the shadows. I go back and forth between crying and fuming a few times, sometimes both at the same time. By the time I get home, I'm sniffling, but I've mostly pulled myself together. I go straight into the garage and grab my dad's stained old CD player from the workbench. I open the top and take out Journey's greatest hits, whatever that is, and leave it on one of his work towels. My dad and Linda look up as I stomp through the kitchen with the CD player, the power cord rattling across the floor behind me. I know my dad wants to ask why I'm home early, but the look on my face stops him. Or maybe Abby's mom called. In my room, I catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror, big dumb hat and all, and I really want to scream. I'm not sure who to be mad at, so I'm just mad. At the world, at myself for having stupid cancer. I throw my hat at the wall and toss my backpack on the bed. I dig out Frank's CD and my earbuds. It's a minor miracle, but once I untangle them, they fit into the boombox's ancient jack. 20 seconds later, I'm on the bed, pillow over my head, and awash in ripe sponge. I listen to that first song 4 times, my muscles slowly relaxing, before I move on to the second, and then the third. 14 songs about vampires and tragic love stories, life on the road, teenage rebels, angry loners, and songs with screamed lyrics I mostly don't understand. Some of these are my favorites. The guitars seem to say what I'm feeling the best. The guitars. Stuttering rhythm lines, wailing solos, even the finger-picked ballads strike a nerve. Not to sound weird, but it's like a whole new language. One I didn't know I needed until now. By the time I fall asleep, I've listened to the entire mix at least 3 times. We're going to stop there. Next week we'll be on chapter 12, and it is called Throckton, which I'm going to give you a hint is the name of a doctor. Okay? Thanks, guys. I'll see you soon.